guys, it's Meg. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel if you're new. So, as we all know, record collecting can get very smelly very quickly. However, with record collecting, if you invest time and invest into the records, the return on those records could be really good. So that leads us in today's video. I went through my record collection and I went through my Discogs. This is my Discogs, by the way. A lot of people have asked me if they can follow me on Discogs. Yes, you can. It is public. Here is my handle on the screen. You can go ahead and follow it and see my whole collection. I also have like vinyl collection videos on my channel, so if you want to go watch them, you can. But yeah, I went through my Discogs, and on Discogs, they have this really cool feature where you can see the value of your records. So if you click on each record, you have 3 prices given to you. You have your lowest price, which is basically the retail price that the record is sold for in majority of places, and like the average retail price. The middle value price is kind of, I guess you could say, if you were to sell your record maybe used, or potentially if it's still in its packaging, depending on the condition of the record, or you could resell it for a certain price. Also, this is kind of maybe the average that people are reselling their records for. And then you have your highest value price, which is if it is in mint condition, it is like a one-of-a-kind record. This is the absolute highest that the record has been sold for, and potentially what your record is worth. Now, obviously these prices can vary depending on the actual condition of your record, when you bought it, what issue it was, yada yada yada. There's so many caveats to determine what actually makes your record valuable. So take these prices with a pinch of salt. These could be very accurate or these could be a little bit off, but regardless, I thought it'd be really fun to see my top 10 most valuable records in my record collection. So if you're new to the channel, I've been collecting records since 2018, so coming up 7 years now, so I have been collecting for a while. My collection's not as big as maybe some other people's, because for the amount of time that I have been collecting, because when I started collecting in 2018, it wasn't like an avid hobby. It was more of like a casual thing, where now it's a more serious hobby where I actually actively look for records. Where like when I first started in 2018, that was kind of when records were slowly coming back into like fashion and being like cool again, even though I personally thought they were always really cool. But you know, that's when the vinyl craze kind of started picking back up again. I say this in every video though, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but you know, like, it's your collection. Don't let anyone tell you what is right and wrong. And the thing is, I don't collect records because I think they're going to be worth a lot in the future. I just collect them if I like the music, I collect them if I like the pressing, X, Y, and Z. I know some people do like to get records that they know are going to be high value, but to be honest, you can never really predict it. One that you think is going to be high value could lose value in the few years, who knows. Regardless, records are an investment, and it is always fun and interesting to see what it's potentially worth if I was to resell my collection. Not that I would anytime soon anyway. So I was up on Discogs last night and I was looking at my whole collection, and I found my top 10 most valuable records. So without further ado, let's get started. I know there's different ways people do these videos. Some people do it with like the average price, which I personally was aiming to look for initially. However, whenever I was looking at the average price on these records, they were all very similar, and I was like, this is going to be a little bit boring. Like, if it's all roughly the same price, I'm going to measure the value on the highest possible price that it has been sold, because there's a little bit more variety in prices, and also I just think it's a little bit more fun. If I'm being honest, it's fun to see the absolute max that this record is worth and what people have actually bought it for. So yeah, that's how I'm measuring the value of the records. Let's just get started. So I'm gonna go from the least valuable out of my most valuable to the absolute most valuable of my collection. I'm gonna go from 10 to 1. So coming in at the lowest value of my most valued records in my collection, that is such a tongue twister, we have Anti by Rihanna. Now, this was a record that I took forever to find and put in my collection, because there was a period of time where record stores just weren't stocking this and it was impossible to get a hold of. I don't know if they repressed it or what, but in HMV I came across it for like £40 one day, and that was the cheapest I'd ever seen it, and I just snagged it. I didn't even think twice about Anti. This is unfortunately the black one. I know the red one goes for so much money. If I had the option to get the red one, I think that's a Target exclusive, then I would get it. But this one, so I'll tell you the average price and also the highest price. So the average of this is £48.96, which is pretty much what I purchased it for. But the highest value this certain pressing has been sold for is £74.15. Quite spenny for a record. Not the most crazy pricing, but I know the red one goes for a lot more. I mean, now this is being sold in HMV for like £79, something like that, which is insane last time I saw it. And I got it for 40, so I was very chuffed with that. And it is like a trifold and stuff like that, and it is just the black pressing. Comes with like posters and stuff. Such a sick album to have on record, and I am very happy that I do have it. Okay, coming in at number 9, we have the 1975 Being Funny in a Foreign Language. Now, not just any variant of this album, but more specifically the Liquid Blue record. So this was it Blood Records or Bad World? I think it was a collab. So it was Blood Records and Bad World collaboration, I guess you could say. Or I heard somewhere they're like part of the same company. I don't know. But anyway, I purchased it from them, and this was one of their Vault records. Basically how that works is they release a limited amount of records. I don't know what the number on this was. Maybe 5,000, I want to say. Maybe more, maybe less, I'm not sure. I bought this quite a while ago. But obviously, as you can see, it is the liquid filled record, and this is my first liquid pressing in my collection, and it's just the sickest thing ever, especially because I absolutely adore this album so much. I had to get it even though I've already got a copy of this album. This one is like for collector's purposes. I don't really spin this one. I just want to keep it as like pristine as possible. So on average this one is sold for £80 resale price. So I think I paid 45 for this from the Bad World website. Oh my god, that's such a tongue twister. And the highest this has ever sold for is £97.50. So almost £100 for this, which is crazy. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I would never get rid of this in my collection. It is just too perfect. Okay, coming in at number 8, this doesn't shock me. As soon as I purchased this and as soon as I knew this was a thing, as soon as I got my hands on it, I knew that this would be within my top most valuable records in my collection. This is The Lover Live from Paris by Taylor Swift. Now, this is the reissue copy of it. I know the first pressing edition of Lover Live from Paris goes for way more. Honestly, I think it's in the £500-600 realm, something like that. But I was just so happy to have this in my collection. I didn't care. I did not care. Actually, I accidentally purchased 2 copies of this. I accidentally processed the order twice because I was so panicked on getting it. But to be honest, I'm really happy I did in case like one of them broke or something. Yeah, regardless, this is Lover Live from Paris. It's the 10-inch. I paid £35 for this from Taylor's official website. She restocked it for like 72 hours just before Valentine's, I'm pretty sure, this year. So yeah, managed to get my hands on one. I was so happy about it. Averagely it's resold for £51.73, and that seems very accurate to me because on eBay, I do like look at eBay, like records I already have, just see what they're being resold for. And this you can pretty much get for that price on eBay, so that's pretty accurate. And then the highest this has ever sold for is £99.95. Here is one of the discs. Absolutely beautiful. I love the high dive effect on it. And then this is the second disc. I am going to get a custom sleeve at some point because I don't like the packaging this is in. It's very ugly, and I feel like for a record as beautiful as this, I would like to get a custom sleeve for it. I will do that at some point, but for now I just wanted it protected. So okay, coming in at number 7. I don't know why this one shocked me. I just wasn't expecting it. It is Superache by Conan Gray. Now, this is my favourite album by Conan. Absolutely love it. But again, there's quite a few variants of Superache, but this isn't just any variant. This is specifically the limited edition red and black marble variant from Urban Outfitters. I got this when it first came out. There's the hype sticker. I actually put it on the record. Now, it looks black. In this anti-static sleeve, it looks black, but let me show you it up close. It is a beautiful pressing. Look at that. It's kind of black and red marble, essentially what it says on the label, really. This is how it looks. Might need a little bit of a clean, so sorry about that. But yeah, she's absolutely stunning. Mine actually did come chipped. I first ever bought it. Where is it? There it is. It doesn't affect the play of the record. It's not like chipped on the grooves. It's purely just chipped on the lip. I was gonna send it back, but honestly, I was like, the record still sounds fine, so I'll just keep it. So mine's probably not as valuable just because it is chipped. I can't remember how much I paid for this. I can't lie. I bought this years ago. I'm gonna say roughly £30 because that's the average for a record. I'm gonna say I paid like £30 for this. So averagely it sold for £46.88, and the highest this has ever been sold for is £105. That's a little crazy to me. That might not be a lot to some people, but for me, I feel like that's quite a lot. Didn't think it would be sold for that much, but here we are. Don't get me wrong, because it's such like, I mean, it's Fleetwood Mac, come on, like of course it's going to be worth a lot, and it is like one of the most popular songs, so I do get it, but it's just, I think just seeing that number is crazy. I don't know how accurate that is. Maybe that's completely inaccurate because the average is so low, otherwise the average would be higher, I think. But regardless, someone has purchased this in the past for £119.32, which is crazy. Regardless, I absolutely love this 7-inch, and I'm so happy I have it in my collection. Yeah, I was just really shocked. Like, I knew like people loved it, and I know it's it's quite rare because it's quite hard to get hold of on secondhand sites. No one really resells it. Next on the list is Fruitcake by Sabrina Carpenter. So this is her Christmas EP. I purchased this when she restocked it on her web store last Christmas, and I was so excited because I was on the hunt for this for the longest time. Luckily she restocked it, so I didn't have to pay the crazy resale prices for it, which I was very grateful for. So again, obviously I paid retail for this on her web store. I think you can still purchase it now, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's still on her website. But the average cost of this is £36.21. A little bit more than the retail price, but still decent. And the highest this has ever sold for is £123.75. And I think that is that price because of how limited this was initially when she first released this. She didn't bring it back for like 2 years, I think. Maybe I might have got that wrong. I know when she first released it, it was like a one-time thing, but now obviously I'm assuming every Christmas she's going to restock this, which is really cool. It gives the fans a chance to get their hands on it. And look at the colour. I think it's just stunning. It's one of my favourite colours, so the fact that this is green, I just love it. I think this is fairly easy to purchase now for like retail price, so I don't really think you need to pay crazy amounts. Okay, so this next one, I wasn't shocked at, but I was just shocked at because it is a 7-inch. I was debating like, do I include 7 inches in this video or do I just keep it at 12 inches? But I was just so shocked at these resale prices. I was like, I think I need to include this, and they are one of the most valuable records in my collection. So next we have the 1975 Milk. I wanted this for the longest time in my collection. One of my like goals in my record collection is to collect all of the records of 1975. I have to have them in my collection at some point in my life. So obviously I've got a lot of their records on my ISO list, and this was one of them. And this honestly was like impossible to get hold of for the longest time. But I came across Dirty Hits web store, which is, if you don't know, the 1975's record label. Came across their merch store and they were selling this for £13, but then obviously post and packaging came to like £15. So I purchased this for retail price, £15, direct from their record label. And I was flabbergasted because the resale price of this, I know because I've been looking on eBay, and I was going to purchase this resold because I didn't think this was a thing anymore. Yeah, the resale price is, let's just say, a little bit insane. The sales history of this is £14.90, that's the lowest, that's what I purchased it for, pretty much. The average value of this is £41.24, and the resale price of this, like the highest it's ever been sold for, is £150. £150 for this. Crazy. And then the variant itself, a beautiful white, very fitting of course. That just shows like patience is honestly so key for record collecting, and I stand by that. I say it in quite a few of my videos. Okay, we're in the top 3 now. So at number 3, I was shocked, but I wasn't that shocked because I know how loved this movie is. We have the songs from Tangled. Tangled is my favourite Disney movie. Rapunzel's my favourite princess. If you watch my Disney vlogs then you'd know that. As soon as this was released, I immediately snagged it. Literally didn't even give it a second thought. This was released during the Disney 100-year anniversary. They repressed a bunch of their movie soundtracks on these beautiful pressings, and I have Mulan in my collection as well, and I'm looking to get Pocahontas because that vinyl is beautiful. And I love the song of Pocahontas. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. They came out with a repressing of Tangled because there was a picture disc of Tangled. That was the main record that you could get of Tangled. But see, they came out with this one, and this is the limited edition Stargazer Lily and I repressing, as you'll be able to see from that hype sticker. This record, I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me show you this pressing. If you don't have this in your collection, you need it. Look at this. Can you think of, honestly, a more beautiful record for Tangled? Ooh! Oh my god, that is so dusty. That's really embarrassing that I'm showing you that. But I'm just gonna hold it from here so you can't see the dusties. But look when it spins. It's beautiful. It's honestly one of my favourite pressings in my entire collection. It was from HMV. I think I paid like £35 for it, something like that. Mind you, I kind of wish this was the front cover because look how beautiful that like cover is. That is stunning. My only complaint with this record is it doesn't have Kingdom Dance on it. Like, what's that about? Do you know what I mean? The sales history of this is £25.57, which is less than I paid for it because I paid like £35 for this from HMV, but it's fine. Average cost of this is £46.50, and the highest it's ever been sold for is £127.83. I mean, Tangled has grown in popularity over the years. I've always loved Tangled, so I'm not surprised this is worth that much. But I think you can still get it now, and I think that's what I'm originally shocked at. But I think this resale price is from when it was sold out, because I know at one point in time this was sold out. I'm pretty sure you can get this now retail price though, so again, don't overpay. It's a beautiful record and you definitely need it in collection, but don't overpay. I'm pretty sure you can get some retailers now because I don't think it's sold out again. Okay, we're coming to the last 2. These are the top 2 most valuable records in in my collection. And again, it's a 7-inch surprisingly, but mind you, with this one, I'm not surprised because one of the artists, and two, because of how limited this is, and I know it's limited. It's Billie Eilish guitar songs. Every time I show this in a video, I get so many questions on it. This is probably my most asked about record whenever I do show records in my collection. And I bought this off of Billie's merch store when it first ever came out. So I was gonna make a custom record of this because it got to like 6-month mark and she hadn't pressed this on 7-inch. I was like, right, I might just honestly make my own one. And then literally I was like, no, maybe I should wait. But you know, a year later, she comes out of it on a 7-inch. I immediately snagged it. I've never bought anything so quick in my entire life, to be honest. And I think she only did 1 drop of this because once it sold out, I don't think she restocked it. So it's very limited. Oh, it says limited edition on Discogs. So yeah, this, oh, I'm so happy I got this. The songs came out at a time in my life where I really related to the songs. So this was such an important record for me to get in my collection. It is so beautiful. So it just has a TV and the 30th on it. So I paid, oh god, I can't remember that far back. When did this come out? 2023. I think I paid £15 for this. I did not pay any more than that. So the sales history of this is £59.25. That's the lowest someone can buy it for now. The average value of this is £115.84. Yeah. And then the most this has ever been sold for is £153.41. Am I shocked? No, because it's Billie, and a lot of Billie's records do go for crazy prices. They are so valuable, so I am not surprised. But also, like, for a 7-inch is crazy. I see this record was made for me because pink and green are my 2 favourite colours. Look at this beautiful dark forest green. It is stunning. One of my favourite 7-inches. Actually, no, it's in my top 5 favourite records in my entire collection. Okay, we are on my most valuable record in my entire record collection. I wonder if this will come as a shock to you guys. Maybe not. To be honest, I'm not surprised. But also, it's still like, what? So, for the most valuable record in my entire collection, it is, drumroll please, Taylor Swift Midnights. But not just any copy of Midnights. This is the Moonstone Blue Marbled record with the hand-signed photo. Now, she released these on her web store when Midnights first ever dropped, and she did a signed photo with all 4 variants of Midnights at the time. And of course I got the Moonstone because it was just the classic. I thought might as well. It was the classic cover, so I just wanted the Moonstone one. And obviously it came with a hand-signed photo from Taylor. One thing I love about this record is it actually comes with its own unique hype sticker. Like, look, it says that it's got a hand-signed photo. I just think that is really cool, and I just love little touches like that. I wish more artists who did sign inserts actually had like a unique sticker of it, because I think it does add value to the record. Evidently so, because the sales history of this, the lowest is £18.75. I'm assuming that's resale without the sign insert. However, if someone got that for £18.75 with the sign insert, they got a bargain. The average price of this is £127.50, and the highest this has ever been sold for is £169.60, and it was last sold on April 9th, 2025 for £137.25. Crazy. Crazy. It is just the standard Moonstone edition with the hand-signed photo. You've probably seen this multiple times. And you guys are probably thinking, Meg, I don't care about the record, where's the signed insert? If you're subscribed to my channel, then you would see it in pretty much every single one of my backgrounds of my videos. There she is. She's hanging up. Let me get her down so you can see her. Here is the pride and joy. She is stunning. Oh my god, honestly one of my prized possessions. Hold on, let me focus. There we go. This is how my signature turned out. I've had her in a frame ever since I purchased it, and yeah, this is the full photo. I bought this frame off Amazon for £12, so if anyone else has like a 12x12 signed insert and they want to frame it, these ones on Amazon are really good. I'm not surprised this is the most valuable record in my collection. It has a signed insert by Taylor, and who wouldn't want a signed print by Taylor? I know I do. So there you go guys, they were my top 10 most valuable records in my collection. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below your most valuable record in your vinyl collection. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time for a brand new video. Bye!